What's up, good people? Woo! Wait! Woo! Wait! Let's go! Let's go! What's up, new Chris? I see y'all. Yeah, notifications starting to bang in. Hit the like button coming through the door. Hit that like button coming through that door, man. So they can see you. They can know you here. Oh, yes, sir. Now we can get into the grease. Now we can get into the grease. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can tell you what's popping now. I can tell you what's been popping. For the last 2-3 hours, I've been on silent mode. Because all this stuff been going on. And oh yeah, academics, I'm gonna air your ass out too when we get on the Patreon. Yeah. I heard what you said. Yeah, I talked to your peoples around you too. Yeah. Gonna air you out. Now, don't forget. Don't forget. Oh yeah, last night there was negotiations in place that was going to ensure that they get Kyle Lowry and they were going to pick up Andre Drummond. They were supposed to trade Montrezl Harrell was supposed to be in a trade for Drummond. They thought they were going to have to move Dennis Schroeder. He was going to end up in Toronto. And they was going to pick up Kyle Lowry. And it was going to be like a 3-team trade. All of that was being worked on. That ended up falling apart. All because Norman Powell and Portland, he went to Portland. Powell was supposed to be involved in making that trade go. That did not work out in Toronto. So once they traded Powell and got him moved for Gary Trent Jr., who's 6 years younger, they have their replacement. So now they decided, well, we might as well keep Kyle Lowry. But we made a promise to move him, so if he wants to go and try to win a championship with another team, we'll give him that option. So this is what went down. Hit the like button, good people coming through the door. And if you're new here, subscribe to the page and hit that notification bell, as no one is going to give you the information like this. This is what went on behind the scenes. The Toronto Raptors decided, okay, we'll still do the deal, but, we want THT. THT was supposed to be part of the deal. We'll do the deal with Kyle Lowry. We'll make this happen. LeBron James didn't want them to give up THT. The Lakers was all ready to do the deal. LeBron is the one that screwed that up because he didn't want to lose THT to Toronto. They would have had the Kyle Lowry. He didn't want to give up them. But it's not supposed to be LeBron's decision. But he didn't want to give up THT for Kyle Lowry. Now, you got to look at it. Kyle Lowry ain't signed the clutch. THT is. Yeah, you ain't getting this information from nowhere else. So, they were supposed to do the deal to trade Drummond. But Cleveland wasn't budget. They were like, look, the Lakers don't want to give up. The Lakers was like, look, we didn't get Kyle Lowry. He's just gonna stay in because they're not budging. Toronto's not budging. The Cavs owner wasn't budging. He was like, y'all not giving us enough for Drummond. And to pick up Drummond's contract, we want to get something from Drummond. So now, Drummond's they're in a negotiation for a buyout. And that wasn't going well. Because he's owed so much money, they're like, look, we're not going to pay you this kind of money. If you want a buyout, you're going to have to agree to terms. LeBron is livid with the Lakers that they're screwing this up. And all these people are getting their pieces, especially when he saw Rondo go to the Clippers. He really got pissed. He got mad at Rich Paul. He got mad, like, how did this happen? Rich, man, I can't do nothing about no trade. They called and told me, we finna trade your client. So, that's it. He has no control over that. Now the Clippers got Rondo. And he was like, we ain't making no moves. And I got to go back to work with this team when I come back. So now the Lakers are trying to pick up Drummond. The Lakers is working behind the scenes doing illegal things as to making things right with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm repeating this right now so you will hear this flat out. The Lakers are going to try to work behind the scenes to make up the money, the lost money that they're going to have to pay back with Drummond. They're trying to work on Drummond. That's the only move they got. That's the only move on the table that they really want. They wanted to have another backup guard. They wanted to get Kyle Lowry and Drummond today. They failed with Kyle Lowry. And Drummond is the only piece they can get right now that's out there that they're really interested in. They're not interested in Lamar Aldridge. This that real spill, baby. Yeah, you want to support the page? The Cash App is Carceno, K-A-R-C-E-N-O. Everybody thinks he's going to Brooklyn. I don't think Brooklyn can do what the Lakers can do for him to bring Drummond over there. So what's going to happen is Drummond is going to have to pay some money back to the team to get out of there. Now the Lakers are going to tell him, we're going to make that money up to you. Don't worry. Accept the buyout. Come to the Lakers. We're going to make that money up to you. We got you. But accept that buyout that Cleveland is giving you. Now, he might have to pay back at least 7, 8, might be $10 million back. That's me just estimating. That's not what I'm saying, but he's got to pay money back. Cleveland is not going to be like, hey, look, we're not going to do that. We're willing to pay this much of your contract. If you want to be moved, this is the buyout you're going to have to accept. We're not paying you no more. And Drummond ain't having it. Drummond and I was like, I'll stay and get all my money. And they like, well, bet you're going to be here then. And the Lakers is like, no, no, no. We need him right now. Of course they worried. You see what happened tonight? They threw Dwight Howard out for no damn reason. Well, Drummond is staying right now until they agree that they're going to do a buyout. That they're going to work on this buyout. So he's going to get bought out. But I'm telling you why he's going to get bought out all of a sudden now. Because he's going to agree to pay some of the money back. This is what Aldridge did. Lamar Aldridge gave back about $7 million plus so that the Spurs would trade him so he can go someplace else. He gave back $7 million. Why? Because somebody else told them they can make up the money. And just between us, it's the Miami Heat. So listen, I'm telling you, it's a lot of things on the table here right now that a lot of people asleep on and don't know about the politics behind closed doors. Players don't lose money, man. They find a way to get around and bend the rules. You see, LeBron has been doing this stuff for years, and now it's coming back to bite him in the butt. Oh, of course they helping him tonight. I told you, when they lost last night and lost my damn money, I didn't bet on them tonight. And I knew they were going to win. And the refs threw out the Dwight Howard. I knew what time it was. They finna win. They need them to win. They told them they need to go on a winning streak. They got the Cavs coming up next. They got a couple of weak teams. Then they got to play some hitters. So they already know what they're in for. I was just so mad about yesterday. That was it. Ooh, with the AI on, baby. Oh, yeah. With the AI, come on. Stop playing. Yeah, so LeBron had a heated conversation with the Lakers today, I heard. With his boot on. Mad. He was big mad. They didn't get Kyle Lowry. He was big mad. The Bulls got everything they need. They don't need no Kyle Lowry. They got what they need with Lonzo Ball, really. That's the only move that shocked me today. Was really Lonzo Ball staying in New Orleans. Because he turned down a 2-year extension. So they're not going to offer you no more money if that's what you was thinking. So that's a risky and dumb move by him, turning down that extension offer, because I guess he figured like all these other teams are interested, so they're going to pay me more money. But when you've been injury prone like he has, and you've been injured a lot, why in the hell would you do that? Then what are they going to be? And that's the only thing about the Clippers getting Rondo, is that Rondo gets hurt. Like, he don't just get hurt like, he's out for 2 weeks. Rondo breaks a hand and out for a month and be in a cast. And he do that in like practice. Oh, the ball hit Rondo's thumb. It broke in 6 places. He's going to be on the lam for the whole rest of the season. So it's like, you know, they're rolling the dice. You know, but it is what it is. But I told y'all, that's why I told y'all to check out the Patreon today. I told you the truth about the Joe Budden podcast, and now look, everything pouring out. Who this was really about, what it was about, and everything. Now every day more and more is leaking out. And that lying fool academics. Oh yeah, I'm gonna eat to him as soon as I get back to the house on Patreon. VIP members, of course. Y'all in for a treat tonight. I'm going to be in rare form. AD, I mean, you got to, like I told y'all, that was an Achilles injury. They kept saying calf injury. That was an Achilles injury. They're taking it very careful because they know it's an Achilles injury. The Lakers reporters always lying. He ain't going to be on no damn 6 months, like somebody was saying. That was a lie. But they want to make sure they don't rush him back like they did KD, and then it tears. The biggest thing is, when is KD coming back? That should be the biggest concern. They said it was a hamstring, and I'm starting to think now, I don't know. Know about no hamstring. AD will be back. He was supposed to be back April the 2nd. He was supposed to be back April the 2nd. Now it's looking like they're going to add another month to when he coming back. And it all depends on the Lakers record, where they going to be at. Because they already got the NWO referee in there tonight. The one who threw out the Dwight Howard, he going to control the game, and it's going to go the Lakers' way. We all know that. There's no need to even watch it tonight. That's why I'm sitting here glad I did not bet that game. But I think I lost on the Miami game. I'm finna go up here right now and check my sheets. I've been on the phone, so I ain't had time to really check. But I think the Miami Heat got screwed tonight. And Portland won. Portland won by 3. Yeah, I lost. So it don't even matter. I lost on that game. Miami Heat had no business losing this damn game. I should have known when CJ had like 20 points in the first quarter. I'm like, the hell y'all doing tonight? That's what they was doing tonight. Screwing me over. Well, people got to understand something. LeBron James, all decisions are going to go through LeBron. All the decisions. Now, when they talked about possibly moving players around, he didn't want to let Pope go, and he didn't want to let THT go. Why? What are you getting from Pope? THT is young, raw talent, but he ain't going to be able to flourish under you. Let him go to Toronto. But if they got Drummond, let's be honest, they got Drummond, LeBron, and AD. You got Dennis Schroeder. I mean, you got a whip. You got a team. You got an indestructible team right there. Because LeBron don't have to do a damn thing. He got a guy that can play defense and get rebounds. That's already covered. Now he got a guy that it just covers everything that he don't do. I mean, but that's what they've changed the game to be. The game is about how many superstars you can get on your team now and go play basketball. That's it. That's what the game is now. Load your team up with superstars. Take the quick way out. The LeBron James coach. Draymond Green to the Lakers. I mean, I don't see that happening because one, I mean, what they gonna do? Trade Dennis Schroeder for Draymond? It's not gonna happen. Golden State has already paid him. He's happy, got his money. Well, if they trade him, then they move him. But why would Golden State want to help the Lakers out? Now, I don't think that'll be the case. Well, you got to look at the situation. When he got mad today and yelled at Pelinka when he's seeing all his players go, LeBron's on the phone mad, talking with the Lakers organization. He's upset. He's not liking the direction that he's seeing. You know, naturally, you're not going to like certain things when it's on the table. And you feel like you ain't got no control, and they telling you what y'all finna have at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, you know, you don't see him. Didn't you see him yesterday like he was there to support the players? He was there in the booth, arms all folded, negative energy. The other day, just sitting there like he pouting. Mad he got to be out there. No, I said AD was supposed to come back on April the 2nd. And they have to re-look at his ankle and everything else and reevaluate him and see how far away he is. And right now, he might be out another month. He might not come back to May. They're taking it real slow with him. One, because he still got pain. And the fact that it was sore. And he really did a number on it, and he could have tore his Achilles. He didn't. But it wasn't a calf injury. It's an Achilles injury. So it goes all the way up the leg. And he's inflamed that muscle, and it take about a month just to get some of the swelling down. But he's not doing the right things. He needs to be off his feet. He's on his feet so much. Every time they show him, he's standing up talking to people. It's like, dude, what you standing up for? Go have a seat. You're supposed to be off your foot. You sitting there on your leg walking around. That's not going to help you. Letting that muscle be active and moving around is not good for you. You need to be having bed rest. Ice. Bed rest. Ice. Then you got to do a lot of stretching. Then you got to wait till it heals. Because if he goes back and it snaps on him, that's it. They're done. Ladies and gentlemen, the party is over. Because if it snaps, he's out all next season. So you don't want that. Because then LeBron is really screwed. You know, Kevin Durant, like we said, we didn't know which Kevin Durant we were going to get. Don't forget to hit the like button, man. We should be well over 200. 500 of y'all in there, come in and hit the like button, good people. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the page. Hit that notification bell. The Lakers were expecting to get Kyle Lowry, and they were expecting to get Andre Drummond via trades. It did not happen. The trade blew up with the Los Angeles Lakers because the Lakers, first it was Powell. Powell got traded. Powell was going to be involved in this trade. It did not work out. Trez was involved in the trade right along with Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder would have ended up in Toronto. And for some reason, Kyle Lowry would have went with the Lakers. Drummond would have ended up in a trade. Trez would have ended up in Cleveland, where the trade went down. and they had everything, all the pieces right where they wanted it to be. It was Norman Powell was going to end up going someplace else. It wasn't going to be the Spurs. He was going to a whole nother team in a 3-team deal. Some draft picks was involved. So when Norman Powell, they decided to take a trade that was too good to be true. Portland wanted Powell and was willing to give up Gary Trent Jr. That shocked the world. Gary Trent Jr. is 6 years younger than Powell. They couldn't believe that Portland was this stupid. So I guess Gary wanted out. You know, I guess he felt like, you know, Dame and CJ are shooting the ball too much. I need somebody where the ball could go to me every now and then, you know? That's right, hit the like button. So when this was over, because they got the deal they couldn't believe, they will still, you know, Cal wants to still go, you know, we'll still do this deal. So they tried to put the deal in place where, you know, it could go. And Kyle Lowry told them, like, look, I don't care which way it goes. It's not a, you know, like, I got to get out of here and get a championship. You know, if y'all think it's the best thing to do, then go ahead and do the trade. I won't deny it. And if I stay, I'm good. It's up to y'all. So they might sign Kyle Lowry to another one-year deal. We don't know. But the fans were very happy to keep Kyle Lowry. They love him in Toronto. So they felt like, you know what? We owe the Lakers. We kind of screwed them by doing this deal. So let's go ahead and still give them a chance to get Lowry. They still gave them a chance to get Kyle Lowry. They would not part away with THT. Toronto was like, all right, well, you know what? We want THT. And they were like, nah, we ain't giving up THT. The Lakers was willing to do it. LeBron didn't want to do it. He didn't want to give up THT. That's right. You heard it here. He want to keep THT by his side. Old man Bron. That's right. Horton Tucker. Okay? So THT was the reason the Lowry deal didn't go through. They thought they were doing a favor to the Lakers. The Lakers didn't want to let THT go. So he was like, and Toronto was like, oh, okay, well then screw y'all then. Forget it. We'll just keep Kyle Lowry. No problem. So that was done. And once that happened, man, LeBron threw a fit. They was like, LeBron, you wouldn't let us let go of THT. What you want us to do? Then they couldn't trade for Drummond. Because Drummond he had to agree to the buyout, which he didn't do to the last minute. That he was going to agree to it. Because first they were going to trade for him. Trez was going to be in Cleveland. Oh yeah, Trez was all but gone. They was going to trade Trez for Drummond. But it wasn't going to just be Trez and Drummond. There was some other pieces involved. But those were the two main pieces. Trez was going there and Drummond. Drummond was coming to the Lakers. They were going to try to make a trade feasible for Cleveland to like. The Lakers didn't put together the deal that they wanted. So they kept Drummond. I guess they thought the Lakers was bluffing. So now they were like, we're not going to pay anything extra for the buyout. So finally, a little bit before the trade deadline ended, or right before it ended, Drummond was like, I'm going to agree to a buyout. So that normally means that they're going to lose some money. A lot more than they're comfortable with. He might have to give back $10 million. Drummond does, of his contract. Because there's no way they're going to buy you out for the same amount. That don't happen. So you already know what happened. Somebody contacted Drummond from the Lakers side and said, hey, go and take that buyout. We got you. You won't lose a dime. Just go ahead, get that buyout, and that's that. You ain't got to worry about nothing. We got you. So, like, look, you in Los Angeles. You going to make that money back. Just go on and get that done. Now, LaMarcus Aldridge. Let's talk about that now. A lot of people think he's going to Brooklyn. Here's the thing. LaMarcus Aldridge paid back. He's paying about almost $8 million back to the San Antonio Spurs. That's why they agreed to do the buyout. Again, nobody was trading for him. So they agreed to a buyout price. And he gave back about almost $7 3/4 million back to San Antonio. So Pop and them, they agreed to go ahead and buy him out so he could be a free agent to go wherever he wants. So once that buyout happens, anybody can sign. The Lakers were not interested in LaMarcus Aldridge. The team that wanted him to do that is the Miami Heat. They let Kelly Olynyk go, and they kind of got a spot open for another big, a flexible big, and they think that's the key. I was not happy about them losing that Kelly Olynyk, because Kelly Olynyk can shoot some threes and keep you, he's very flexible at that position. So now they got Office Depot and they trying to get LaMarcus Aldridge on the team. Pat Riley been working, baby. Past the master of this game. So, they told Aldridge to go ahead and do the buyout. We got you. Don't worry, we'll make that money up. You won't lose nothing. See how that works? You see how that works now. It's a dirty game, man. It's a dirty game out here. But see, LeBron turned it into the Wild Wild West. He turned it to everybody doing all this nook and cranny to get every player they can. They got to be over the cap. All this nonsense. Instead of actually playing the game. And seeing whose team is the best. It's over to a degree, because now it's going to be buyout city. Trade deadline over. The buyout season is still around. People could buy them out. Right before the playoffs, buy somebody out. Now they free. And they be like, what you buying him out for? Oh, somebody told you to do it. And they got you. Atlanta love to do deals for people. These under the table deals been getting done for years. Think about how many players got bought out and ended up on the Lakers or ended up on a LeBron team. Oh, they just decided to buy him out at the last minute. I don't know why they did that. So we just signed them because they bought him out. I'm like, why would they buy him out and they out the playoffs? What was the point of buying him out? Oh, well, Houston's done. You know, like they're in a total reboot mode. But my thing is they making brother look bad. It's his first year coaching, and it's like everybody bailing on him. And they bailing on Silas, the whole plan and everything. And then about 2 years later, brother be fired. Oh, he just wasn't ready for the head coach. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Because all the other coaches, they coming in with superstar talent. They getting inheriting super teams. Curry ain't never coached a day in his life. And he got James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving. And they gonna be like, what a great coach. He is. It just to do all that, just stepping in. That's just superb. You know, that narrative has been around for far too long. LeBron said no such thing. What such thing is that you're talking about? So you think LeBron James did not talk with ownership today? Are you out your mind? Okay, Lassie. You can believe that all you want. And keep looking out the window and waiting on the Easter Bunny to come bouncing in with some eggs. Get your Easter Bunny costume ready. Everybody loves the Easter Bunny. Well, I thought this was a very informative situation. Let's hit the like button, good people. When you come in here, I'm glad you're here. Don't forget to subscribe to the page and select all on the bell so that when we do go live, you don't get left behind. Top 15 defenders. Dennis Rodman will probably be number one on the list when it comes to defense. There's a lot of people up there. Because I got to look at like who they were guarding. You know, guys who are great defenders. But, you know, like they had to guard Magic. You know, you had great defenders like Tony Allen. He's up there. Bobby Jones is a great defender. He played with the Celtics. He was great. There's a lot of them. Kobe's up there. Mike is up there. A lot of people put Scotty up there, but he wasn't really a lockdown defender. You know, Gary Payton, the glove, is up there. So I know best team defense, the Detroit Pistons, without a doubt. We were probably the greatest defensive team in the history of mankind. That's without question. Oh, Ruben Patterson. Oh man, that just ruined his life. Calling himself the Kobe stopper. I don't know what they did that for. He got so embarrassed that ruined his whole career. Kobe kept embarrassing him. Even when it was over, he was like, man, you already got me back. Nah, I got to get you every time. I can't let you have a good game against me. No. Cole, Cole was about that business. Can't let you have a good game against me. I take Wilt name out of everything because to me, it's not even comparable. I mean, Wilt by far is the best defender of all time. I mean, by far. I mean, if you look at, but I'm just saying, like the matchups, like people who had to guard like two guards and point guards. That's why Kobe would be up there. Like he guarded more point guards than Jordan did. Like he had to guard a lot of very athletic threes. You know, back then when Jordan was playing, it wasn't, you know, he was going against more of the power forwards. He would guard some of them. Like sometimes he switch on Oakley or Mason and those guys. But the three position guys are playing it basically by position. You know, the Grant Hills and all those guys, when they started to come into the league, you know, it changed the game a little bit. You know, you had these young, athletic guys that can run, the Steve Smiths. They can cross you and go. You know, it was a whole different ball game. The hell the cops on? I'll be there. Oh no, I gotta come in here. I got a couple of my bets. Decided it would be in his best interest to go out and he wanted to inquire about what's going on, you know, and I don't blame him. You gonna want to know what's going on. I know I would want to know what's going on. If I was them, I would want to know what in the hell was going on. All right, it is too much stuff going on up in here. This activity is crazy. I'm not feeling it. Niggas want this here roll. That nigga name is Cino Washington. I don't give buck nickel for nobody. You want this here roll, nigga? Cino Washington. I'm trying to figure out what is they bad. You know what I'm saying? What's their problem? I don't like this. Let me get up out of here. Yeah, subscribe to the page. Oh yeah. I'm gonna go in on academics tonight on the Patreon for sure. Let me get up out.